Hey guys, welcome to this month's Facebook Live. I am your host, Belinda Risley, and tonight I'm joined by the lovely Karina. Welcome, Karina.
Hey, hi everyone, how are you?
So we'll just have a bit of a chat before. I'm sure people are just waiting for that live notification to come from their phones so they can come and join us and ask us all about massage therapy. How have you been during lockdown? How's massage been? Like what's happened during that time? And like where are you based? And tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, so massage therapy doesn't matter in what shape, form, or where you were delivering it from, whether that was in a clinic or whether that was on location, or some people obviously operate out of their home. The whole sector was shut down for COVID. It's only just starting to phase back in state by state, and that depends on how people trade. So if you normally deal with a particular therapist, you are going to find that depending on what state you are in is whether or not they're allowed to trade yet. It is creating quite a bit of friction, and you just have to bear with your therapists until they're allowed to legally trade again. For me, I trade out of New South Wales in Sydney, and we're allowed to trade again back in therapy, and it has to be therapeutic. So being a remedial specialist means that I work out of physiotherapists' clinics for the most part, and in my own clinic. So we're not doing anything that's on location at the moment, but we are doing everything because sport obviously has been shut down, but we are working back in with our clients, and it's been flat out, I have to say.
Well, that's fantastic. I was just double checking that we were live on the Facebook group, and we are, so that's fantastic. Yeah, so it's been a little bit quiet. It's been a little bit weird. There's no sports. There's no massage. But it's given people a lot of time to, I guess, research things that they wouldn't have normally had time to undergo, whether they're short courses or looking on the off-track performances, the off-track development. And I guess one of those things is massages, and I guess a lot of athletes don't really understand the true benefits of massage. Let's go through about how they can help an athlete perform.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Karina. Before I start, guys, of course, if you've got any questions, just put them below, and Karina can ask them for it. Obviously, with the massage, as I'll be talking about a lot of tightness and weakness and stuff. And I'm sure, as a motorsport athlete, you would generally have tight shoulders. Excuse me, I always throw down food before I go on these Facebook Lives at 7 o'clock. I don't know why I continue to do it, and I haven't let the listen, but anyway, and tight like forearms and wrists and lower back pain. So if you do experience any of those and you want to know how to get rid of them, legs, calves should always be tight, well, not always, but generally are tight. Put them into the comments and get some free advice tonight. So
absolutely. I think the biggest thing is I'll say generally the difference between what people traditionally think massage is and how it's going to help athletes as opposed to a spa is normally very targeted, and it can actually be quite uncomfortable, and it's not the type of treatment where you just lay there and relax for the most part. The whole point of it is to enable the athlete to perform at their best. Now, we look after our carts, our cars, our bikes, any of our other mechanical beasts that enable us to enjoy our motorsport. But the reality is that if you're not looking after your own body, and that's holistically, so that's nutrition, fitness, and massage works in with those things. There's no point thinking that any one thing is going to solve or be the magic pill. With massage, we work so that with drivers, it's neck, back, arms, and the biggest problem is lumbar spine. And it doesn't matter whether you're in a cart, a sedan, or on a bike, it's your lumbar spine that seems to get cop the most, and that's for co-drivers as well. So if you're looking at rally, you've also got the situation where co-drivers cop a lot of lower spine. So if you don't know about the spine, the lumbar obviously is the base of the spine, then you've got your thoracic through where you breathe, and then your cervical spine is obviously around your neck. With the lumbar spine, it's 70% of drivers and motorsport participants that are going to have trouble in their lumbar spine. Number one cause, seat, position, belts. That's
the helmet as well, like the young cadets. Sometimes those helmets are heavier and bigger than those young cadets in
Yep,
karting.
yep. And that's when you're getting up to your cervical spine. So, and the other thing is with our young karters, if you don't start to do some preventative stuff now, when you're young, you are going to have problems with your spine when you get older. The amount of G-force and vibration that goes through karts is quite enormous. And on a growing body, that can be detrimental in the long term. So,
yeah, from the lumbar spine, we work up through the back.
Yep. So with the thoracic is not such a big deal, which is all through your breathing area. I think that the biggest problem with the thoracic spine is going to be, as you said, the weight of a helmet, because that's going to tend. And if you're not using hands devices and you're not using something else that's helping to support that structure, then you end up with problems, especially young people with the weight of their own body and the growth spurt of their body. You can end with problems in the thoracic. The biggest problem after that, obviously, is your cervical spine. You got to protect that, people. Strength and conditioning. If you do proper strength and conditioning, then massage will support that, in that it enables the body to be able to keep doing the exercises and keep participating and keep the muscles firing. So everybody's pretty much heard these days about this mythical beast called DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle syndrome. Call it what you like. Muscle fever is another thing. If you want to Google muscle fever, people are calling it that. It's a really, really strange thing. It feels like a sprain. It can come on very suddenly, especially if you're taking a lot of impact through your neck, or it can come on slower and that's the lower back. So you're going to find that these sorts of things happen over a period of anything from 24 to 72 hours. Now, if you're going to be going and competing again, or you're training, that's going to impact what you do, because you're going to start to guard your body. So the whole concept of using muscle soft tissue therapy, which is and manipulation, which is the massage therapy, is to enable you to be able to use those muscles again quicker. Now, and there's heat treatments and cool treatments, and everybody's seen people jumping into ice baths and things like that to help with their muscles. And that's to help with inflammation of the muscles. It's to help with inflammation of the tendons and the ligaments. But it's only really good normally for that acute phase, which is straight after the activity. So when you sprain an ankle, DOMS is basically spraining.
Yes. And why do you think at the tracks, I know like a lot of other sports like swimming, soccer, they generally always have a massage therapist or a physiotherapist that is on their team. Why do you think we don't have, I guess, that awareness of the importance of having this service available at the track has been yet to date?
Okay. Many other sports are way ahead of the curve in comparison to motorsport, except for elite motorsport. So Formula One have had therapists, whether they're physiotherapists and remedial therapists, for a very long time. MotoGP, the same. Anybody at the high end always knows the benefit of having a soft tissue therapist on their team. You got to remember that most highly qualified soft tissue therapists are not only doing massage, but they're also doing stretches. They're preparing the muscle. So pre an event, you're preparing the muscle to fire, to work, and know that something's coming. Sometimes there's the rare athlete that wants to use soft tissue therapy to actually calm down, because if they're in a high adrenaline, your heart rate elevates very, very quickly. So yes, you've got to have the fitness around it, but having somebody on your team that helps the athlete that does suffer a little bit of pre-event anxiety, then it can help calm them down a bit too. But the whole point is not to calm things down. The whole point of having somebody at the track is to get the muscles firing, wake the body up, have it so that it's ready to go, and then treat sporadically. So if you're doing an event and you're getting pain in your lower back, let's treat that on the spot, because the quicker you get the treatment, the quicker you're going to recover.
Yeah, and a lot of these athletes are obviously in the vehicles for like 3 days, and so and it could be 3 days on, and it could be 4 days off for some, and then it could be 3 days on and then 6 weeks off, and then they're coming back into the vehicle. So like you were talking before about that muscle adaptation, it's really important for them to know how to treat that. So yeah, this is really new about, again, just more of the beginner to amateur or grassroots motorsports, thinking about having massage therapists or therapists within their team in the last couple of years. And so you're a driver yourself, but you're a competitor.
I am.
Tell us about what you compete in.
Beg your pardon, what was that?
Tell us, what do you compete in?
Oh, no, I'm a very, very big amateur. Okay, I was driving an MX-5. Actually, I was driving a V8, and then I went to MX-5s because they're a go-kart on steroids, and they're awesome. And then I'm now back in a V8 again, and very fortunately for New South Wales, I'm actually back in the steering seat this weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, but look, at a grassroots level, most people aren't going to be able to afford to have a therapist. There's no reason, though, that you can't group together. And because the reality is the therapist can treat multiple people in a day. I mean, for instance, I've been in clinic today and I've seen about 10 people for treatments, and that's a variety of different treatments. So with on track, or share the resource. That's probably my best advice. When it comes to being away from the track, do your research. Find the people that actually deal with motorsport, if you can, so they understand the athlete and they understand the ramifications of the sport that they're trying to treat. And when you're also looking for having that maintenance program, so you try to get the maintenance going in your body, even if it's only once every 6 weeks, at least then you can address the issues. And a good remedial therapist is also going to give you the exercises to support you for week to week and give you tips and tricks on how to look after yourself at the track. Doesn't matter how old you are. I guess that's one of the other things, is making sure that the person you want to deal with has a working with children check, okay, and insurance.
So one of the services, obviously, that Motivate does provide at the moment is that we do at-track massage therapy. And then, as you're saying before, that we work behind the scenes to further those services around identifying what's strong and what's weak, and then associating a fitness program and more for wellness, and it could be stretch, it could be deep tissue program around that. And you did a similar thing in New South Wales?
That's correct. That's exactly right. So I'm currently working with New South Wales Production Touring in New South Wales, and one of the teams with that, and I'll be extending that out. I'm also looking at working just straight with venues, and like Wakefield, so people who know New South Wales will be Wakefield, Winton and Bathurst, so that this service can be available not as an individual, but I bring a team of people with me, so they're able to service multiple athletes, and that includes the support teams too. Let's face it, they work damn hard, a lot of the support teams, whether that's the parents that are looking after a karter and they're currently, they're lifting and lugging all the time. I'm quite happy to look after them as well. And in actual fact, they should look after themselves, because if you can't be well and fit and well, then how are you going to be able to provide to your family? And then with the higher end, then I'll obviously look at mechanics, co-drivers and things like that. So we're delivering a very similar service that Motivate does down in Victoria.
But we're looking to come together. I know that stress. We're looking to join forces and come together once racing goes back. And basically, there'll still be the same services that both Karina are talking about. We're just going to run it jointly under one banner.
Yeah.
But Karina, do you have any ideas around, for parents, like you were just saying, what they can do for drivers and the younger drivers, or some self-massage tips that you can provide them?
Yep. What I can do is I can give you, with the young drivers, the biggest thing is conditioning. Okay, conditioning of the neck and the fitness of the neck. And Belinda, I'm pretty sure that you'll have a very good idea around how they can be doing that, and you can doing it in a sustainable way that's not going to be hurting them. There you go. Exactly right. No, it's not I have a headache. And the trick with doing those sorts of exercises, as Belinda would know, is the pressure is for 10 seconds. So it's 10% for 10 seconds to fire up the muscle, and then you let it off, and then fire it up again and let it off. And that trains the muscle to have that stability and strength and know how to switch on and off. And you can do that all the way around the whole head. With massage, for younger people and anybody, the good old grabbing your traps, just give them a good old squeeze. And the thing is, when you find a really hard spot, you know, those little, anybody goes, oh, yeah, that spot there, that really kills. When you find that hard spot, dig into it, get a pen, get a ball, a tennis ball. Yeah, you can use a pen. You can use a pen if you can't reach. Use a pen, use a ruler, anything that it holds into that position, and leave it there for 90 seconds. I think that's one of the biggest things I can tell you is 90 seconds is the magic number. At 30 seconds, you'll start to feel the muscle give a little. At 60 seconds, it'll start to feel a bit buttery. And at 90 seconds, then you slowly release it. And that's anywhere in your body, whether it's your spine, like on your lower back, on your arm, on your chest, anywhere, 90 seconds. And if you press on it and it's way too painful, for instance, if you're pressing on your back and it's way too painful, think about where the muscle is and shorten it. So if it's long, the muscle is long. I'm trying to get the right angle here. I'm not used to this. So if the muscle is long, then, and the pain is here, then when you are putting pressure, shorten the muscle. The pain will subside pretty quickly, but keep the pressure on, because it's still doing the same amount of work, but it's doing it in a way that's putting less pressure on the muscle. And that's a little, you can do that in a lot of different places, especially around the front of your neck as well. You dig into the front of your neck,
yes,
change the position, and it'll take away some of that pain, but you're still getting the actual muscle being stimulated. The whole point of these types of techniques is about your proprioception. So it's where your body is in space and time, which is really important. So if you want to Google that about proprioception, that's a really good thing for young people to understand. And it goes through your entire life, because it'll make your reflexes faster. It'll make your body perform better. And it's a simple thing, and there's exercises that you can do through people like Motivate that will help you to enhance your proprioception. Arms and hands, stripping. If you're going along, hang on, I'm trying to get the right angle here. If you're going down along the muscle, that's great, but the reality is go across the fibers, okay? So go across your fibers, and as you go across them, you are just stimulating them that little bit better than what you are if you're doing long sweeping strokes. If you don't like it, pummel it. Good old petrissage, just pummel the hell out of it. It's still a way of putting heat and bringing attention to the muscle from the body. The brain's an amazing thing. I think we've actually got a brochure, haven't we, Belinda, that we can give to people if they're interested. They can just get in touch with you. And
it's more like just an educational PDF. So for those that are wanting to know a little bit more about massage and the benefits, just let us know. I'm laughing at Marcus's comments here. He's saying he's old and he finds new areas in pain for no reason.
You're not as old as me, Marcus, so I'm sorry you don't get away with that as an excuse.
So we do have a download available for you guys. Just a little bit more information about the benefits of massage therapy. I really do think it's one of, again, a key element into performance, regardless of what category you raise and regardless of what age you are, or size, or gender, or anything like that, that it definitely has a part. And I think as we go forward, as you said, obviously the top end teams do kind of have these services, but as a collectively, if we can get it as in grassroots, and whether it's just having the Motivate tent or the track and field massage tent at each of these locations, and people just come in and out as they please, I think it's going to be beneficial to everybody. Karina, we spoke a lot about how it affects the benefits of it at the beginning of an event. What about for a recovery point of view?
Okay.
What kind of massages? Because I believe like there's different types of massages available, from obviously prepping the body to perform and then after.
Okay. Yep. So this is where I mentioned about muscle fever and DOMS. So scientifically, it's been very hard to figure out what is this thing called delayed onset muscle soreness. What is it? And to be honest, the science world still can't actually put their finger on it. They're not sure if it's psychosomatic, or they're not sure if it's physiological, but the reality is they do know that it's a real thing. And this is where massage helps the recovery. So massage works to bring the body's awareness to the muscle sets, and it also helps to flush. And I don't want to use the word toxins, and I don't want to use the word lactic acid, but they're ones that people tend to know. But it's a bit of a grey area to say that we're washing away toxins or we're helping you to eliminate lactic acid, because it's not exactly true. The science doesn't support that as a real thing, but it definitely will help to bring the body's proprioception back. It will also help the body to be able to heal through its own natural healing processes. And it also will enable you to be able to perform again quicker. So when you have long delays between one event and the next event, it's going to give you that time to go back into training. It also, if you have long delays between one event and another event and you're not generally fit, then it's going to enable your muscles to be more supple and lengthened, which is the whole point of massage, is to lengthen your muscle, okay, and make it ready to fire. Then it will enable you to have those things as well. So beforehand is about waking, getting the muscle firing, but not making it so that it's fatigued, unless you need to decrease this stress. During an event, it's to work on something that's spasming, something that's causing pain at the time, and giving you some stretches if you need them, which most drivers are going to need, or just some general gentle strengthening. And then at the end, it's all about preparing you for the next round, okay, and making your recovery time significantly quicker.
Fantastic. I don't understand why anyone wouldn't want to go and have a massage. I know when I go and then I say to someone, I just had a massage, they go, lucky you. And I'm like, no, not really, because I was just like, in intense pain for half an hour or 45 minutes getting, more of a deep tissue massage and getting out all those clicks. And I can tell you now, after 10 weeks of lockdown, I'm really in need of one.
Oh, well, if I was around the corner, hon, I'd give you one.
We just date, and Victoria's not opening until, I don't even think we've got a date. Maybe June 22 with the gyms as well. But it's been very frustrating, and not only for mental health, but just, people's just general tightness, and they don't understand because we're not actively, again, like training or looking out for our strengths and weaknesses, especially during this time where we are stuck at home. So functionally, we're still moving, but we're not lengthening.
Look, I'll give you one quick exercise to do. Anybody can do it, doesn't matter what age they are. It's really good for your neck, and the reason why is because the muscle connects from the base of your spine to the top of your scapula. It's called the levator scap, and it becomes very tight very quickly. It also is a great neck stabilizer. So for when you're wearing helmets and things like that, it's one of the ones that works really hard because it's also working with your scapula. So whether you're riding, driving, it's one of those ones that gets fatigued really easily. And I'll take my glasses off so they don't fall off and I look like a buffet. Basically, all you're doing, I'll move back here. Can you see me okay? Is you looking down the side of your chest, whether you're a male or a female, doesn't make any difference. So you imagine you're looking to the side of your chest, and then you bring your arm up in front of you. So your elbow is in front of your face, your hand is at the back of your head, and you're pulling down as if you're pulling your head down into your armpit, basically. Yeah. With this free hand, this one here, you either grab onto the side of a chair or you push it to the ground. So you're either grabbing the chair and creating a stretch, or you push down if you've got no chair. And that'll create that stretch through that levator scap. If you want to, you can always Google stretches on YouTube for levator scap. There's heaps of them out there that will explain that just exactly the same. But that's an awesome stretch to do. And then the same as the conditioning for the 10 seconds, you can do the same thing to the side. So the thing is to not do these types of crazy movements. I just got dizzy then. These types of crazy movements when with your head and neck. Everything with your head and neck should be very controlled. That's why building up all the conditioning through your neck is really important for young people, because, as Belinda said, helmets are really heavy.
Yes, very heavy. I think I went on my head, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I know about you guys. I can't afford a $1,500 carbon fibre helmet. They do exist.
I do have a range of stretches, so which just made me think that I should pull them all out and actually make a stretch sheet. So I've just made a note of that. So stay tuned, guys. I'll do a stretch sheet for you, getting in and out of the car, what you should do.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Karina. That was fun. I learnt a lot. I hope everybody did as well. Some good stretches to do tonight.
Yeah. Just remember, across the fibre, you can even use a pen. Put the pen on the wall, even get it stuck in there.
Yeah, and most people should be having tennis balls at the track utilised for their warm-ups anyway. So it becomes a dual tool.
Yeah.
Like Karina was saying, you can put it underneath the shoulder blade, really working through there. You can work it underneath your spine, through that lower abs. I don't want to get too technical, but
well, there's a reason why you study. It's not. You can't just buy the accreditation on a sandwich box or anything like that. What is it, cereal packet? I think they say cereal packet, don't they?
That's right, on a cereal box. Yeah. No problem. As Marcus said, I find them pretty essential. Worth $1 is really helpful before some long races. Yes, it is. But yeah, one of the best investment tools, as I said, you can have is the tennis ball. So you utilize it for reactive training prior to your race, and it can also be used as a massage tool, even massage through your calves, through your chest, and through your back. But I do have a document somewhere around about tennis balls and the effectiveness of them. So I'll try and drag that up and put it here live on the Facebook page. But anyway, Karina, thank you very much for your time tonight. I really appreciate it. My
pleasure.
How can people get in contact with you?
They can go to trackandfieldmassage.com, noau, just .com, or alternatively contact me through Facebook. I'm on Track and Field Massage on Facebook and Insta. And if they really need to get in touch with me, I'm sure that you'll give them my number.
Obviously, on those platforms, you do have all the events that you'll be having your services at. Predominantly at this stage, they are New South Wales based, and you also work out of a clinic at Homebush or Cronulla. So if anyone's wanting anything local in New South Wales, definitely go to Track and Field Massage. Otherwise, when we've got all the clear to go racing with spectators or just external people from the direct team, we'll be having some more massage facilities available for everybody to use. And that'll be an opportunity for people to come and see what it's actually like. To even 10 minutes seated in your lumbar spine, you'll feel it. I promise you, Marcus, you'll feel it. And as we stated, Karina's thankfully put a PDF together for us and some more information about massage. So if you'd like it, just pop it into the comments. Otherwise, I'll post it up there in the next couple of days. Anyway, thanks again, Karina. Have a fantastic night.
Thank you.
Appreciate your expertise and joining us.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Yeah, bye.